So, Unrivaled's 1v1 competition was a huge success. It was a huge success ratings-wise. And it was a crazy thing because if you could argue the biggest names in the entire competition weren't playing in it. Like, Sabrina Ionescu did not play. Reese did not play. Breanna Steward was out in the first round. But for the Unrivaled 1v1, the ratings were really big success. Big success. So, not only did, like, it start a conversation that, you know, NBA players should be playing the 1v1 competition, the fact that it started that conversation is big in itself. But, like, obviously that's not... I'm not going to use that as the like barometer for success. Is like, oh, people are talking about it on social media. Because Unrivaled has done a good job on social media. I think everybody knows that. But when we're talking about the 1v1 ratings, it was by far the highest ratings that had been seen. Like the 1v1 tournament, semi-finals and finals were the biggest, were the most viewed things in it. Were the most viewed like games in all of the league. They were like, obviously coming up to the point, the league had not done the greatest when it came to ratings. The ratings were continuously going down. Sometimes they've been good. Like they were back up okay. Like for the ratings here, 377k for semi-finals and finals. It averaged like 179k, which wasn't good. The semi-finals and the finals, the last day, averaging 377k is really good. Like they're good numbers. Like they're WNBA non-Caitlin Clark game numbers, and for a league that's on TNT, for an off-season league, like we can be honest here, that's good. Like that is a good thing for the league. They're pretty decent numbers. They really are pretty decent numbers. So yeah, like that is one of those things. And as the thing with Unrivaled is, I think there's been a lot of good ideas for Unrivaled. I think there's been a lot of bad ideas in Unrivaled. But that's the thing when it comes to a new league. But one thing, again, that was 100% a success is the 1v1 competition, especially towards the end. And the games weren't bad. Like, Nafisa Collier, people were like, oh, Nafisa Collier rigged it. Nafisa Collier, I think, could have done the Royal Rumble. Like, I think she could have taken on the gauntlet. Like, they could have done a 1v1 Royal Rumble. And that's what they should do at some other stage. Instead of the 1v1 competition. There's 30 players. You know the way they had their entrance music? There's 30 players. They draw a number out of a hat and nobody knows what the number is. And then nobody says what their numbers are. A number gets called, the player comes out. And then it's a 1v1 to 5. And then whoever wins stays on. And yeah, number one's not winning 30 games in a row. They're going to be exhausted. But it's still, like, you can have like certain money for most wins, and then whoever wins the last one. And then if you get in a 30 and you win at the end, then great, you got the look at a draw. Like they should. I would love if they did the Royal Rumble, 30 players, and that, like, for me, that would be a really cool thing. But when it came to the 1v1 competition, I think Fee could have done the damn Royal Rumble. She could have went and came in, went in at number one and beaten all 30 players in a game to 5, one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. Like, that's how easy it was to Nafisa Collier. But yeah, it was a success, and I think it's a weird one to like look at Fee. Say not Fee, at the league. Like, Nafisa Collier has become the star of Unrivaled. And I think, like, everybody is Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that she has become the star. She has become the biggest draw. She is the player that she's the only player in the league really that people are going to see. Whereas, like, obviously when it comes to like an Angel Reese, people are really interested in Angel Reese, but like it's always been the case where people are interested in her as a person more than they're interested in watch, and very few people are interested in watching her play basketball unless it's against Caitlin Clark. Whereas now you're like in Unrivaled League, Nafisa Collier might be that player that that'll be people will want to watch. And I do think one of the things Unrivaled I hate the fact that they've done it is they've almost promoted it as if everyone's an equal, and like not like promoted like individual rivalry games. Like there's no everyone like has a stake in the league, but they should be pushing, maybe not internally, but they should be contacting media, contacting people, and being like advising them to push like Jewel Lloyd versus Skylar games, to push those type of things, to make the Nafisa Collier Angel Reese, to try and make that a rivalry. Like you can't do it on your own platforms, but the fact that like these players do have control partially of the media, they can just try to do that to make things seem a little bit better. Either way, though, it is. I don't know if the league has been a success, but I will say the 1v1 competition in the end was a success. And man, what Leah Edwards did in that 1v1 competition, like it was impressive. It was absolute, like for me anyway, it was so impressive just how well she played and how she was just comfortably beating people. She was just beating people by going to the basket from the perimeter. It wasn't like she was there like just posting up. She was hitting step back threes. She was doing a lot of things. Genuinely doing a lot of good things. But anyway, yeah. That is pretty much it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you guys think that it's it was a good thing? Do you guys think Unrivaled lasts next year? Like, there is a chance that Unrivaled doesn't last a year. And if Unrivaled doesn't last a year, then it's a bit of a major failure. But I do think I see it lasting the 3 years, but I think if it doesn't start to pick up and the ratings in general continue to go down, yeah, it's going to be a struggle. But the funny thing is like the gimmicks part of Unrivaled is the bigger reasons why people are watching. And I know they really are talking about they want to make it a serious basketball league. It's hard to make a serious 3v3 league. But anyway, I'll see you guys.